Welcome to TehachaPod. Sit back and relax as Key Budge and Corey Costelloe talk about things that are happening in and around Tehachapi. Here's Corey and Key.
Well, welcome to another episode of TehachaPod. Today, we've got Veronica Wilson from our Tehachapi Library joining Corey Costelloe and myself. So, Veronica, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We want to talk about the library, Kern County Library. We've got our Tehachapi Branch, and even with what's going on with the coronavirus and the social distancing and public buildings being closed down, you're busy.
Yes. Yeah, we've still got a lot going on, and we're trying to add more as we learn how to better navigate all the technological aspects. But we're still trying to provide a bunch of programming and make sure people have access to information and books as they need it, even if they can't access the library.
Now, Corey, you've got little ones running around your place. I know that you're constantly looking for activities for them.
Yeah, we actually did utilize it a few times because, with my work schedule, when the library was open on Fridays, the story time and stuff. So we actually took my sons there a few times, and they really enjoyed that. But obviously, with that closed, you guys have actually gone virtual with the story time on Fridays, right, Veronica?
Yeah, we do them from actually my son's bedroom at the moment. And he keeps telling me, the library looks like my room, Mom. But yeah, so we want to make sure we still get that story time, and we still, are helping promote literacy and get the kids interested and highlight some of the books we have that are also available on our digital library as well.
I would say if you ever need somebody to read either Cat in the Hat or Green Eggs and Ham, I'm your guy. Because that's the one that I have to read every night, and I'm pretty good with Dr. Seuss tongue twisters. Matter of fact, I think I've memorized the first about 10 pages of Cat in the Hat so far. So I'm just saying, if you ever need a virtual reader for Dr. Seuss, I'm your person.
Oh, that's great.
My grandson would ask me to do Baby Boss.
We were talking about some of the e-tools that are available. And this was well before all of this, but when I had it for the last couple of years, I've actually utilized Overdrive through my Amazon Kindle. And I know you also have Hoopla, which is basically it's the library plus ebooks and that kind of books on tape or whatever, audio recordings, what they call it now, the Audible style books. Those are all available for checkout, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got at least 4 apps that you can use now. Overdrive is one of the main ones, and there's also an app for your phone that goes with that called Libby, where you can check out ebooks and audiobooks. And then Hoopla, you can check out ebooks, audiobooks, but you can also get comic books, and you can get movies and TV shows. So that one's got a lot of really good stuff on it. And normally it's a pay-per-use model, so it's a little bit different than Overdrive. Normally you only get 3 checkouts on that one a month, but we've doubled that during the quarantine since people are utilizing the digital content so much. So now you can get 6 Hoopla items a month just by, again, you just download the app, sign in with your library card number. There's also Cloud Library, which has ebooks and audiobooks, and then RB Digital that has just audiobooks. So there's a lot, and there's different content on each app. So if you're looking for one particular book, you can kind of shop around and usually find something you're looking for.
What I like to do is sometimes check, when you go to your Kindle or whatever it is, the bookstore, it'll tell you, what they suggest for you or what are the top, the best sellers currently. And then you look at it and you're like, well, I don't know if I want to spend $15 on this ebook, but I take that title and I go over to Overdrive and see if it's available in the library and I check it out basically.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So save money and also get the same content.
Yeah, with Overdrive, you can also send it directly to your Kindle. So if you like reading on a Kindle instead of like a phone or a tablet, Overdrive has the capability to just send the book you've checked out from the library to your Kindle directly, so you can read it on there too.
Yeah, and I've always been like a person, but I'm going to be honest with you. I love reading on a Kindle. It just because taking books with you is sometimes they're clunky. They take up space, and so I like the ability to have a bunch of books in one spot, which is normally on one tablet. So Overdrive is awesome. It's a great tool, as are the other ones the library is using right now.
Yeah, I like it. You can, honestly, last night, our teen advisory board has me reading the Fablehaven novels that I've never read. I finished the third one last night and really wanted the fourth one. So the good thing about the digital content is as soon as I finished the last one at like 10 o'clock at night, I could get right back on Hoopla and get the next one immediately.
How do people sign up for that?
So those, you would just, all you have to do, you can either go to there's a web page on the Kern County Library website. If you go to the Kern County Library website and go to the e-library page, there's a list of all the different apps we have available. Or you can just go to whatever app store you use and download any of those apps, Libby, Overdrive, Hoopla, Cloud Library, and then you just sign in with your library card number. Hoopla will actually also ask for a PIN number. Your PIN number is the last four of your phone number.
I'm one of those that doesn't have a library card.
Yeah.
Is this something that I might be able to still do?
Absolutely. So with Overdrive, you can actually just get on the app and tell them you don't have a library card, and they can issue an instant digital access card number. If you want to access the other apps, then you can go to the Kern County Library website, and on our forms page where it says contact us, there's a form you can fill out, and we'll send you the number for a digital access library card so that everybody can access these while we're closed.
Okay, and the website is kerncountylibrary.org.
Correct.
Okay, now I know you guys also, all libraries across the county are also have their Wi-Fi turned on 24/7 for folks.
Yes, we've got the Wi-Fi on. So if you really do need Wi-Fi, you can sit in the parking lot and you should be able to access our Wi-Fi if you need it. 24 branches.
Let's talk about the kids and some of these programs that you've got. Corey kind of referenced one, but what do you have going on for the active kids in the households now that we're socially distanced and we're isolating? What is it that you have offered for parents and grandparents that are going, I'm getting a little buggy?
Yeah. So first of all, our Facebook page is where we put all of our content at the moment. That's our main platform since we're closed. So just look up KCL, stands for Kern County Library, Tehachapi, and you'll find us. We have the virtual story times. It's kind of nice now. There are actually 2 live story times a week because I cross-post. Normally I would do one for California City and one for Tehachapi since I'm the branch supervisor for both branches, but I cross-post them so you actually get 2 live story times a week now instead of 1. I'm working on some other activities. I'm currently working with Marley's Mutts. We're going to be working on putting our Barks and Books program online so that we can do live story times with the dogs, which everybody is a fan of. We also make a real concerted effort to try to find other things that people can do online. So one of the cool things that we found about now having to put everything online instead of in person is that we can give people access to other things the other libraries are doing, whatever's going on. There's a ton of free programs at the moment that people can access online for kids. So there's a lot of websites that are issuing free content. There's a lot of celebrities doing story time. There's a lot of zoos who have web cameras or story time or programming. So we're trying to bring that all together in a place where parents can find it so they can have different things to choose from. Like I spent a good portion of the morning yesterday looking through my son's, there's, webcams on zoos and aquariums so you can still see all the animals, and the zookeepers give talks and things like that. So one of the nice things about going online is that we can bring a lot of different aspects together and offer a lot more varied programs than we could before.
Yeah.
I think definitely these are all things that we have a pretty robust resources page and that kind of stuff on our city's website. But I think definitely we'll be adding in a lot of the links in the Kern County Library as well, so folks can find some of the stuff that we've been talking about today.
Yeah, it's fun. And normally, everybody who works at the other libraries, I work a lot with the ladies over at Beale, and we all plan our different events, and we never get to go to each other's stuff because we're all working at our own libraries. But now we get to attend and participate in all of our programs. So, at Beale, they've got a daily pajama story time at 6 that's on Facebook Live, and they've been doing ukulele classes and things like that. So you get access to everything that me and my team are working on here in Tehachapi, but we can also pass along all of the other events from the other libraries too.
Now, what about as far as teens? I know we mentioned just before we went on air, you said there's actually some things for teens. So it's not just little kids or maybe the adults. You've got specific things targeted for our teenagers. Yeah,
we actually have a really robust teen program at the library before we closed, which was nice. So every Friday we had a different teen club, and it rotated between anime club. There was Pathfinder, which is basically Dungeons and Dragons. and there was a cosplay sewing circle, and there was the teen advisory board that usually hosted fandom events every month. So we've got several different clubs that all meet. So we're working on putting them online as well. So we actually had the teen book club meet for the first time on Zoom right after this happened, and they liked Zoom so much that now we just have a weekly teen quarantine hangout that everybody can join in on, because they like to just touch base with each other and kind of socialize. And then we also have the anime club is still going to meet on Zoom, and the Pathfinder group is still playing Pathfinder, but we do it online now. We're working on, the Pathfinder group, we're still working on how to play online, but I think we've pretty much got it this week, and after that, we'll put up an event on the page. There was a little bit of trial and error for how to play Pathfinder online, but so we've got a bunch of stuff going on for the teenagers as well. I think this Friday, the teen hangout is going to be a Netflix watch party where they're all going to watch The Office, actually. So
I love that. We're able to still remain social in our social distancing, and it's neat, especially here. I mean, let's face it, teens, this is a part of their life. They've grown up with technology, and they embrace it so quickly. I mean, for me, I'm trying to figure out which link do I press to access the Zoom app.
Yeah.
So, but for kids, I mean, in a heartbeat, they're just like at a fingertip. Oh yeah, you just do this, boom, we're in, and it's almost like they're right next to each other, I bet.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, because a lot of them were kind of in the habit of video chatting with each other anyway. So when I gave them access to Zoom, they were very excited to have that platform to play on, and they actually taught me how to use it. So that was really helpful. I didn't know you could change your background in Zoom until they showed me how to look like I'm presenting from Hogwarts. So it was really helpful.
That's so cool. Now, before the coronavirus hit, we were working together. The library and the city of Tehachapi have worked together, and it's been a great partnership. So, let me say thank you, first of all, because it's just been very rewarding to the community to have a strong library presence and thinking about the community. So I appreciate everything you put into it. Last year, we had cops reading to kids on Fridays. We were partnering on a big book drive to help rebuild the Porterville Library, which this coronavirus rudely interrupted.
Yes.
But
we still have an entire meeting room full of books for you, though.
That's incredible. We're gonna fill up a U-Haul trailer.
We have a whole conference room full of books too, by the way, that we collected before. So yeah, we got plenty.
We're gonna fill a U-Haul and drive it up to Porterville when this is all said and done, and help them get back on their feet. And I don't know, it's the community. I just think we have such a special place here in Tehachapi. You're a part of it, and it's neat to see the partnerships that we started beforehand and now. I know that we also talked about podcasting. Is podcasting in the library? That's coming together?
Yeah, we're getting some podcasting equipment as part of a Makerspace grant that we've been working on. So we're lucky that we already have some of our Makerspace equipment since, we have the 3D printers that were given to us by the Economic Development Council, and we have some other like sewing machines and things like that people have donated that we can use. So we've already started with a lot of that, but thanks to a grant, which is now also interrupted by this, unfortunately. But we're getting virtual reality headsets, and we're getting podcasting equipment so that you could come in and record a podcast, and just a whole bunch of other stuff that people would be able to have access to through the library.
Well, if you need help with the podcasting stuff, we're kind of a big deal now. TehachaPod, we are now on Apple. We're now on Apple officially podcast. We're on Stitcher. We're on Spotify. Just letting you know, we're kind of a big deal now, so we can help.
That's what I told Key when he asked me to do this. I was like, I do need to learn how to do this, so I would be happy to.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're kind of big time. I'm just letting you know.
All the different things I have to learn how to do while running a library.
Yes, exactly.
It's funny because when the podcast started, this was pre-coronavirus really hitting the U.S. as we did episodes, the first 1, 2, and we were, face to face across the table and talking to each other and conducting our interviews and telling our stories and having that conversation. And all of a sudden this hit and we go, well, we're not going to stop podcasting. We think there's great information to share with the community. We are just evolving to what the teens already know how to do, and that's use technology to tell the story for the podcast. So this is, the new way we're doing it in 3 different locations right now to share a story and have a conversation. I think having the Zoom app, though, versus like a conference call makes this more of a conversation. I feel like you guys are there. I can see you, we're talking to each other, and hopefully that translates to the listener at the podcast. But at least for me, it feels a little bit more of a connection to have this conversation.
Yeah, we've been actually really enjoying all of the technological aspects that we've been discovering as we've been figuring out how to do all these different things. It kind of got us out of our comfort zone and made us try new things, but we've really liked some of it. So, even something simple like putting story time on Facebook Live, we've had a lot of people tell us we can't make it out on Fridays, so we really appreciate having it on Facebook for us to view whenever we can. So, even after the library's opened back up, we might keep some of these aspects that we've gotten better at. We were kind of forced to figure out, but they've worked so well that we might actually just be adding them to our regular schedule.
I think that's pretty much everybody's sort of, silver lining to all this is they're figuring out ways that they maybe avoided technology, and now they've maybe found better ways to get their message out there. I know dealing with a lot of the local churches had to put their services online that weren't doing that before. Although, for the pastors that are preaching into a camera and not preaching to a congregation, a lot of them are pretty excited. They're saying, wow, we've got more people watching on Facebook that might actually be in the sanctuary on Sunday. So they're finding ways to make it work.
With that, it's interesting how like television and the churches, that's not new, but this new utilizing these virtual meetings or using the online concept and people connect, that even at that level, that the pastors that you talk to, Corey, that they feel that there's like that connection, that community connection that they're able to feel online. That's different than the TV, because the TV, you don't get any kind of feedback.
Right. A lot of pastors enjoy the fact that when they do preach, sometimes they're getting like instant comments via Facebook Live and that kind of stuff. And so it's it's just an interesting thing for them to deal with this technology and then think about, okay, how can I make this work when life gets back to normal? So how do I make this work and still put this in my regular plans? And I think every business, every organization, whether it's the city or the library, we're all going to have that same conversation too. I know we had one. I had a few conference calls over some, memorandum of understanding agreements with other agencies. And after they went back and forth via email, actually we got farther away from a solution. And then when we had a conference call together, we had a Zoom meeting together, and we all, between attorneys and representatives, we were able to knock this thing out because the verbal communication that was back. And so I think that's going to really change a lot of people's business practices moving forward. I know it certainly will for us.
At the library, Veronica, when we get back to normal, when life hopefully goes back to what it was, a few months ago, let's talk about that makerspace. That's something I think is really interesting, and it might be interesting to people that are, maybe they're not working or they're looking to maybe change their career path or something. I bet you this makerspace might kind of help them.
Yeah, it's a great way to get to play with equipment it's the type of stuff that's cost prohibitive to a lot of us. So we can't all just go get a 3D printer to kind of play with it and see, if we can draft 3-dimensional images in a way that actually works and prints out. So the library, right now we have a monthly orientation, and I'm going to be moving that online as well, so we can still do some online stuff if you want to get the information so that you can use our 3D printers. How it works is we usually do once a month, there's an orientation. You come in, I show you how to use the printers, kind of the rules we've got going and how it all works. And then after that, you can sign up on Friday and Saturday mornings to come print whatever you want. So you can go home and make your own project and sign up and just come in and print your own project. And since we've got the grant money in place for 3D filament, it's all completely free. And we're hoping to do that with more of the equipment. Like I said, we were getting sewing machines and all kinds of stuff. I know a lot of the teenagers, we've been using those in like the cosplay group. So I've been teaching them how to use sewing machines. They all want to make, Comic-Con type costumes, but they don't know how to sew. So I got a couple of sewing machines donated, and we've been teaching them how to do that. But those are the kind of things we're hoping to expand and continue building on, so that if you really do have an interest but you don't have the equipment at home, you can come to the library and play around with our equipment first to see if it's something that you can really get into.
Let's talk about you're in such a cool location, and that building with how it was redesigned from its historic point is, I think it was it the Masonic building originally, Corey?
Yeah, it was the Masonic Lodge, and it was built in 1952 or 53. It was after the earthquake.
So cool.
Yeah, the original one was a big brick structure that was in the similar area. You see some of the old pictures. The old Masonic Temple was pretty cool, but it was brick, and it went down within the 52 earthquake, so that one was built shortly after.
It's such a neat building. I got a chance to go with my wife to take our grandson there for one of the Friday morning live book reads to the kids, and you've got computers in there, and there's people of all ages that are there utilizing the computers. It's not just the books and periodicals. There's a lot more to the library than it used to be, at least when I was a kid, going back, many decades ago. It's changed and evolved, and it's relevant, it's up to date, it's a neat place.
Yeah, we love our location and our cool building. It's such a neat old building. One of the things that we love the most about it is that it is 2 stories. So the kids are on the bottom level and the adults are up on the top level. And we've got computers that can be utilized in the adult area or in the children's area. There's a ton of computers, so we don't have to make people make reservations like we used to back when there was like 5. So everyone can access stuff, but it also means that since the kids are downstairs, we don't have to constantly shush the kids. I know some parents have told me before that they were nervous about bringing their small children to the library because they knew they would make too much noise. And I'm like, well, that's one of the good things about our building is the children kind of have their own space. So you don't have to worry so much about, is my 3-year-old, I don't know, but my 4-year-old does not have an inside voice. Like, it's just not something that they have.
Mine either. You're good. I'm with you. My 3-year-old, no, doesn't have one.
Yeah, they don't. It's just, but if they don't come to the library, they're never going to learn to be in the library and be in that. So we want the kids in the library, but it's nice that we can separate them from the people who do come to have, a quiet place to work and study. So the dynamics of the building are really helpful, just in a very practical way, that we can have the kids, or I can have 22 teenagers downstairs on a Friday afternoon playing Pathfinder or drawing anime comics or whatever they're going to do, but the adults can still go upstairs and have a space to work in the nice quiet area. And we've also got that great outdoor courtyard, so when the weather's nice, people can go outside and sit at our tables that are outside and work out there as well. So it's just, we really have been trying to focus on being a hub for the community, and the fact that we're physically located in the middle of the community has been a huge help in making that happen.
You guys are on Green Street, right across the street from the Hitching Post Theater. So it's convenient. There's plenty of parking around, and now the Wi-Fi is running 24/7 during this coronavirus crisis that we're in, as we're shut in. If people want to sit in their cars and get their Wi-Fi, they can head over to the library and plug in if they don't have access to Wi-Fi. I don't know, over the last year, getting a chance to work with you and going to the library, it's kind of reopened my mind to the things that are available there for me, who I hadn't really kind of thought about it in the past. And now talking, today about all these other programs, it's pretty cool. You've got so much to offer. Are there any other programs that we didn't talk about that you want to touch on?
Well, we're in kind of a weird liminal space right now where we're trying to figure out what to do with summer reading programs, since we're not sure how that'll go. But because that's our big focus usually at this time of the year, is working on putting together our summer reading challenge, which again, a lot of people think it's just for like the little kids, but we actually do have programs for the teens and adults as well, so everyone can participate. And normally how that would look is, we open the summer reading challenge in June with our large Comic-Con event that we started with last year, where we have local comic book artists and animators who come show off their work, and we have professional cosplayers to come in costume. We have workshops and activities and games for the kids and all kinds of really fun stuff. Last year, the 501st group for the Star Wars group brought, the life-size R2-D2 robot. And we actually have quite a few local artists and animators who live here in Tehachapi, who have worked for Disney and Fox and one gentleman who helps us out with a couple of the teen clubs, used to work for Batman, the animated series. Jeremy is a huge help. So we're working on that, and a lot of people are looking forward to it. So I would just like to tell people, if for some reason we can't meet in person for all of those big summer programs, we are all currently figuring out how to move all of those things online. So that's one of the things that I've been doing with my time, is attending webinars, watching YouTube videos, talking to other libraries, and figuring out how to move even our larger events and our summer stuff online, so that I know a lot of parents count on the summer reading program for something for their kids to do during the summer. So one way or another, we will have a summer reading program, even if it has to take a slightly different shape than it has in the past. We're going to just adapt so that we can still offer that to everybody.
You brought up some of this stuff with a lot of the people that live in Tehachapi that have had a role in Disney or whatever it might be. And there's a lot of those, as a matter of fact. And it brought something up when you mentioned that the actual sound from Chewbacca was created in the 1970s. It was found in Tehachapi. The guy who came up with the sound, it was the sound a pet bear made at his friend's farm he had out here in Tehachapi many years ago. Yeah, it was on. It was a story from 2015. I remember seeing it randomly pop up not too long ago. But yeah, the sound from Chewbacca actually has. He was visiting his friend, and he worked at the time for George Lucas and all that, and was trying to figure out the sound for the movie. And some pet bear he had, because there were some of those weird wild animal farms up in Tehachapi in the 1970s. It came from a pet bear. So, fun fact of the day.
You are the king of fun facts.
I know, right? I've been cooped up for weeks, all right? I need to find fun facts on the internet for the podcast.
Well, whether you're cooped up at home, or you want to drive to the library and just plug into the Wi-Fi, or I shouldn't say plug in, but attach yourself from the parking lot, socially distanced safely with the Wi-Fi the library has to offer. Check out the library's website at kerncountylibrary.org. You can still get an e-library card. Check out some of the e-services. There's just so much to offer from the Kern County Public Library. Our Tehachapi Branch, Veronica Wilson, thank you so much for everything that you do, and thank you for sharing your time with us. And I think this is great information for parents, grandparents, and adults and teens. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Happy to be here.
Was there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to get in there?
Yeah, I just, the only thing I was thinking about saying was we have a lot of community buy-in and a lot of people who participate. So we do have the ability to put on these big programs, mostly because the community helps us with them, which is nice. I mean, we are the 4th busiest branch in the county out of 24. Which means we're busier than 4 of the Bakersfield branches even. And it's not because we're the biggest city in Kern County, it's because people use the library and they contribute a lot to our efforts here.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Veronica.
Thanks, Corey.
TehachaPod is a conversation about Tehachapi designed for the people who live here or who would like to know more about this mountaintop community. If you have a question you would like answered, email media@tehachapicityhall.com. We will try to answer it on a future episode of TehachaPod.